Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mac.
And today we are going to be giving our first impressions of Icky.
Icky.
And what is that? A game of Edo Artisans. So yeah,
cool.
This is one we just got done playing for the first time.
Still out?
It's still out on the table. It's got a lot of color to it, I would say.
It does.
But I think this was one that I was... Well, you probably, I don't know how much you knew about it.
I had no idea. Came in the mail one day and I was like, here we go.
I was a little more excited about it. I've kind of had it as one of those games on my list ever since I saw the cover. I thought it was a pretty beautiful cover myself.
Yeah.
And then Tom Vassell, I believe,
one.
gave it the seal of excellence, so that kind of gave it that next
It's right
level.
on the box.
Oh boy, was it?
Yeah. It's on the stack.
I put it on the side. It's not on the front. Well, there's a beautiful cover, so I don't want to cover that up
Can't
with a seal
blame
of
them.
excellence. But yeah, that got me pretty excited to try the game, and I knew it had a rondel piece to it, and I always tend to like that in games. Probably the most out of
My
me or
life
you or
the
Jesse.
last year has been like rondel game after rondel game after rondel game.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of one that's been pretty popular, in at least in the games that we've gotten. I don't know that they're all like newer games.
Weave?
Wow. You would have got it too if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think this is also the first game I've gotten from Sorry We Are French, that publisher. Yeah, but anyway, we played our first game of it, and we played it at 2 players, so it's got a little bit of a kind of
Like
third player,
yeah.
sort of not.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of adding some extra cards out there and like taking up a spot that can't be taken then, or because one of the things you're doing in the game is kind of moving a person around so many spaces, 1, 2, 3, or 4, plus possibly additional ones with sandals. Then this third player, so to say, kind of takes one of those spots at the beginning. So,
And I thought
makes
it
a little
needed
bit
that too. It was
yeah, I would agree. And I would actually say that I think this one would probably be playing a little bit better, maybe with 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Just because the other thing you're doing in the game is there's kind of 4 sections of the board where you're buying these, I don't know, workers, artisan cards that have a track on the side of them, and they're kind of upgrading and getting these salaries or whatever at the end of each season. And kind of to make those better and better, you have to either pass by this part of the rondel, like you pass go, you get $200. But in this one, you're
You need to upgrade the card.
upgrading all your cards, or if someone else uses your card, because each card has an ability on the bottom, then that also upgrades them.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking if there were more players, there'd be more chances for other players to upgrade them. So I'm definitely interested in trying this one with 3 or 4, kind of see if it changes it a little bit more, because there was no like interaction with that piece of the game. There wasn't like another player taking an action and forcing an upgrade or something.
Exactly.
So there wasn't that piece.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I would actually play it again right now knowing a little bit more about the things in the game. I feel like your resources are going to be pretty tight, because you're either going to probably have a decent amount of maybe money or something coming in, but then you might not be able to feed the people at the end of each season, or you might have too much food like I ended up having, because I thought, I'm gonna bank up a little bit earlier on in the game and then have to pay them, but then I got to the point where I had retired like all my people, so I didn't have to pay them. But yeah, I think it's kind of a point salad game where there's kind of points coming from various different pieces in the game, and I don't think you can really focus on getting a really great score in all of them.
Probably not. You have to focus on the overall, I think.
Yeah, maybe just get a little bit here and there, and then kind of try to get something that you're kind of mastering a little bit more, scoring a few more points in, or taking advantage of some of the cards towards the end start giving you bonuses or actions that you can take that get you like a good chunk of points at a time. Yeah, I would say I'd give this one, after one play, maybe a 7.75 to 8 is what I would put it at.
Nice.
But you haven't spoken much, so what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm frustrated with it. I just don't feel like it gives you enough options, or good options typically, because it's a tight game, right? So in those you need to have ability to do something that's worth your
Mitigation.
turn. if you can't get your number one choice, you should probably still have something that can get you somewhere. And I felt like in this game, I just was completely like thwarted every time. Like my first option went away because the game like covered that spot, and then my second option went away because you took the spot. Like, so it just was like a constant like, well, what do I make out of this turn, because the optimal moves are gone. So it was like just trying to fight an efficiency puzzle like the whole time. So I mean, I did only end up losing by like 15 points, which is surprising because I thought it was going to be much worse than that. But I don't know. I just don't know that it gives you, because it's so tight, I just feel like there isn't an area that's like if they hadn't done like the feeding part, I mean, not that that would have helped greatly, but I just felt like there are too many tight things in it to really be, I don't know, to focus or have those other pieces you could do.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 5 or a 6, but I'm not a huge fan of rondelles. So
Yeah, I think a couple things that might have influenced that one for you is, since it was a 2-player game, there's this fire track, because there's fires that take place once every, the last 3 seasons.
yeah.
And I kind of got ahead in that, and then that kind of determines first player each time, so I was always getting to choose first most of the whole game.
And there's
So I
only
think if
one
you maybe
way
would
to
have gotten...
But there's only one way to do it, and if you can't land on it exactly.
Well, then there were cards that got that as a...
If you had money, which you didn't.
That's true.
Because I was trying, but I was like, there's no opportunity to do this.
But I think I took advantage of that earlier.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, then the opportunity,
Yeah.
I think,
Then
got less
once
and
he
less.
got past like 6 fire points and I was at 3,
Then
he
you were
was
kind
like
of stuck.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I don't need so much fire anymore. And finally I could do it, but then you were like,
Well, you can do it, because
I'd
luckily
already-
in this one, sometimes it's a game where,
Yeah.
like, once someone takes that spot for an action, you can't take that.
Yeah.
So I do like that there's at least that piece.
yeah, because we landed on it together so many times.
Well, maybe you should have followed me.
Yeah, did you not hear me explain what the problem was? I could only move so many spaces.
Well, we should have
because
been on
it was
offsetting
blocking
amounts.
me. No, I don't know. It didn't flow for me. Maybe after more plays it will. I think the idea behind the game is brilliant. I love this like market piece. I love like the card types. I like that whole I love that whole like set gathering and all that stuff. There's just
collection.
like yeah. There's just it just was way tight to get anywhere. So for me anyway. You've got it mastered after one playthrough, so that should tell you.
I did not have it mastered.
Yeah. Well, we both got these little 30-point tokens, and I was like, if it's so easy to get to 30 points, why does it only go to 30 points? But I'm sure it's just the artwork. But I was like, if we can both get to 30 on the pink track, I was
Well,
like,
it flips to 60.
oh, okay. So not that impressive. I was like, really? We're both past 30.
All right. And you said you only lost by 15 points, but I mean, like, points during the game, I was ahead of you by, I mean, that was half of what you lost by. So, I mean, it wasn't like you lost by that much once you just look at endgame scoring.
Yeah.
And you thought that all your actions were being bad, and you were the one that got caught by the fire.
I know. I would have had another card if I would have
Right.
gotten it.
I would recommend it, but it sounds like you would not.
I don't know. I mean, to certain people I would, but I don't know that I would recommend it to myself.
That's fair. I guess, do you think you would like it more with more players?
I don't know. It depends on what the other side of the board looks like. Because it's tight now. I'm guessing it's going to be tight then. The only thing I can see improving, though, is like the rate at which you get to retire your cards. Which I think would be super beneficial because then you get those
Income.
bonuses, that income, every end of the round.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
And so I think that would be helpful. But then again, they have to play on your card.
I guess, how many sandals did you have throughout the game? Like, maybe do you think
Five.
if you had bought more sandals, that would have helped?
No, because they don't decrease the amount. They only increase the amount.
Then you just have to have 4 sandals go all the way around the board.
Yeah, if you can get 4 movement.
Maybe.
Maybe. I think the theme and
I really like the scoring in it.
it's would you call this a Euro game?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
It's very Euro-y.
It's different. Like thinking of like recent Euro games we played. I mean, I feel like it is something different. So I'll give it that, because I feel like Euro games to
It
me
does
just
feel-
all blend together.
It feels a little bit more colorful than the normal Euro. It kind of has, I don't know, the theme comes through a little bit,
Yeah.
but not. It's still not
Yeah.
a ton.
No.
I don't feel like I'm actually at this specific market and the place is burning down once a month or once a once a season. So
But you got to be a firefighter. So.
yeah, but yeah, I would say if you like games that have like, I don't know, what is it? Stefan Feld, I think, has kind of the point salary type games where you can kind of score these multiple different ways, do like different cool scoring things. If you like games like that, I think I'd recommend this one to you. And if you kind of like this theme, I think it comes through a little bit more than some Euro games that might feel a little bit more dry. It's not planting things in the field, so that's a little bit different. If you want to check out all the colorful stuff in it, you can check out our unboxing video that we should have out alongside this. And you can see kind of all the good artwork and everything good in that. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next video. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.